Survey from NerdWallet, 40% of holiday shoppers say they feel pressure to spend more money on holiday gifts than they're actually comfortable spending. So how can you get the perfect gift this year without breaking the bank? Elizabeth Ayola is a NerdWallet's personal finance expert. She has more on how to maximize savings when purchasing gifts this holiday season. Elizabeth, thanks for being with us. Why do you think so many people feel pressure to spend more than they're comfortable spending?
Well, I think it's that people often associate buying the perfect gift with how much they love someone, right? So they feel if they don't get the perfect gift for their friends or family, that their loved ones won't feel as appreciated. So sometimes they get themselves in a financial bind trying to get that perfect gift, even though it doesn't fit in their budget.
So what do you recommend? Do you recommend sitting down and writing down, making a budget before your gift-giving process starts, before you go shopping, whether in person or online?
Absolutely. And the good thing is it's not too late to do that. So at NerdWallet, we recommend the 50-30-20 budget. And what that means is 50% of your income goes towards needs, 30% towards wants, and 20% towards debts and savings. So ideally, that holiday budget should come out of that 30% bucket. So sit down and look at how much that you have for basically your wants after you've paid your bills, pays off your savings and debts, and then you can calculate how much you have for holiday spending within that.
This is another question that would sort of go in the is it too late category, but there are credit cards that I'm sure you can tell our viewers about that are more helpful and better to use, more beneficial to use for gifts during the holiday season than others. Is it too late to maybe switch to a credit card that gives you more cash back, points, rewards, whatever it might be?
Luckily, it's not too late, so you could apply for a credit card at this point. Usually the approval can come within a couple days or weeks. If you're lucky, it'll come quickly. But there are cashback credit cards and reward cards that people can use essentially to get rewards on their spending. I personally love the cashback debit cards because you're spending what you have and then you're getting money back from it as well. So that's a good way to ensure that even though you're spending all that money on gifts, you get something back as well.
So that's interesting. You mentioned debit cards because you're paying for things with a balance of your own money. You know exactly how much you can afford to spend. What are some of the other tips and tricks that you tell people about in terms of avoiding letting spending right now, especially I would imagine on a credit card, not get out of hand where you look back maybe in January and say, what was I thinking?
Well, it really goes back to the budget. So sometimes because we're in the festive season, we throw the budget to the wind and we just keep spending and we say we're going to worry about it later, but have a hard number and a hard limit of how much you're going to spend. And it's especially important to do with credit cards because it's revolving credit, it's easy to just keep racking up all that money and think you're going to pay it back later. But you still need to budget it, in terms of what you're spending and compare it against how much money you actually have.
I feel like we know the pros of buy now and pay later, but what are the cons? I know it can be tempting if you are paying for something expensive that you don't want to hit your account right away and you want it to last over time. What are the issues with doing that?
You could end up outspending your budget. So you are essentially delaying the payment that you still have to make later. But what could happen is you end up living from paycheck to paycheck because you're overspending still. So it's important to look at how much you're still borrowing over time. And again, factor that into your budget. And also some buy now, pay later plans charge interest. So you need to calculate the interest you're being charged on that money as well and factor that into your budget too.
Elizabeth Ayola, thank you so much. NerdWallet's personal finance expert. We really appreciate you being with us this morning. Thank you.
For having me. Thank you.
For more tips on holiday shopping and finding the best deals for your budget, you can head to our website, cbsnewyork.com.